we got a lot in common with the music.
Right.
But I think what we have the most in common is
This house. And this land.
You grew up here. That's why when we came here, I just got on my knees and said a prayer.
This is it.
Please let us live
know.
here. Chris was like, I don't know what's going on in there. Pam Tillis is crying in the kitchen.
I've driven by here. I just wanted to feel connected to a time that was so special. I did pull into that little side driveway.
Yeah.
Outside the fence, and I just sat there.
When we were walking through here, your mom is like, this house is on a vortex and you're going to write so many hits on this property. And she was right. One of the first songs we wrote was this song, This One's for the Girls by Martina. That was a big pop hit, country hit.
And there were a lot of songs written here. Before you got here, Daddy's career was really taking off. We were in this house when he won Entertainer of the Year.
When Taylor Swift, the first time she came over here, she was like, this is my favorite house I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Now, this was a long time ago. She's been all over the world now.
I realized, though, after a while that every house I've ever been in, the only thing I was really doing was trying to make it feel like Mama's.
There's only one person we would sell this house to right now, and that's Post Malone. I'd had a dream he got this house.
It's an artist house.
100% it's an artist. That's the best way to put it.
Right. In a lot of ways, I didn't really get to say goodbye.
Yeah. You need to say goodbye to a place. But we're almost there. It's almost time. Y'all's energy will stay. Our energy will stay.
Love grew a lot here. And I could tell how it manifested. It multiplied here.
What we all hope is the next, people that come here are the same.
I hope they come and plant good things.
Me too.
And let love grow here.
With Aimee Mayo. My guest today is Pam Tillis, and we've got a lot in common, except she was like a singing star of country music, and still is. She just played the Opry last week, but you've done so many songs I love. I just kind of think you were ahead of your time.
Well, thank you.
I really do.
Either ahead or way behind, and it looked like ahead.
No, you were ahead. Those songs. I was listening to Let That Pony Run the other day. That's ahead of its time, I think.
That was a good song.
Oh, it's a good song.
And you know this, if I did anything right, is I was really crazy about having the best material that I could find. And that sounds like
that's being a songwriter's daughter.
Well, that's right, because the bar was so high, the standards were so high, but I knew that it wouldn't take anything less than the best song you could either write or get your hands on.
And most people don't know that, actually. You know what I mean? A lot of people, we'll write with somebody and they'll come out and we'll be so excited because they're such a great singer, and then they'll play their first single, and it's like you deflate. That's your first single, and then they'll play, this is my second single, this is my third single.
And you just see it going downhill.
And the third one will be the best, and it's like, well, you should start with that.
Yeah, because you're not necessarily going to ever get to third.
I know. Chris and me both tell them it's start with your best thing. Even if it is a ballad, it doesn't matter. But I think being a songwriter, and your dad was a huge star too, but he was a songwriter, Ruby Don't Take Your Love.
That's really what got him traction in town was the songs. So
there's so many stories about your dad and about this house and about your mom, and I don't know which ones are true.
We don't know. There's a lot of folklore.
Yeah, there's a lot of folklore.
Yeah, that's right. There's a Mel Tillis mythology.
People tell stories about my dad like crazy too, but he wasn't like a famous star like that.
He was a personality.
Oh, he was a character. I've heard people say he was the last character on Music Row.
I know.
I mean, he was kind of crazy. He
Some
destroyed
of the best
a guitar. When he didn't get a #1 party, but he worked so hard to get a #1,
Yeah.
But so we got a lot in common with the music.
Right.
But I think what we have the most in common is
this house.
And
this land.
You grew up here. right? Like,
Yes.
how long?
Yes, more or less. I mean, I'm the oldest of 5, and then we have a stepsister. But Mom and Dad together had 5, and we came here the first time when I was 11. And turned 12 shortly thereafter. It was also about the same time that Daddy's career was really taking off.
Was he doing movies yet?
Yeah, he'd done a couple of small ones, but not the big ones yet. But his star was rising. In fact, we were in this house when he won Entertainer of the Year.
Oh yeah, he was so famous though. Everybody
At that point in
yeah.
time, he was rocking.
Yeah. So, like, how did it happen when you ended up back over here? Like, what happened?
Well, we just came back, and then they started to, they added on the big den. And
that big room with the wagon wheel lights.
That was the biggest thing that they added. And they just kind of, that was the biggest thing. But that gave them a little bit. And added the pool. Daddy was big into bird hunting. And Daddy had a big garden. He had a peanut patch. He lost a diamond ring in that peanut patch.
We heard so many stories about like your mom and dad and like out here with the diamond reminded me. But go ahead. I didn't mean
he had. I had a horse, Big Red, and we had another horse for a while. But a couple horses along the way, many dogs, many cats. At one point, Daddy had a bull back there. He thought he was going to get into cattle trading, and he got out of it real quick, and he told me, he says, Pam, he didn't give me a lot of advice. He kind of more or less taught by example. But he said, never put your money in anything that eats and poops. He got out of the cattle business real fast. He sold that bull to, I think it was Carl Smith.
We've heard so many stories about this house. Like, I don't know what's true. Like you're saying about legend.
Right.
Like, we heard a story that your dad was on the road and your mom was building that pool. Mm-hmm. And that every week he didn't come home, she made it bigger.
I believe that. She had her way.
Big. It's the biggest pool.
It just kept growing. There were some really cool people there's been some incredible musicians also that lived on the property.
Well, didn't Emmylou Harris live out here?
Paul Kennerly, great award-winning songwriter and producer. And Emmylou recorded Angel Band, her gospel record out here. I feel like that's anointed. That they had a little vocal booth. It was just a makeshift kind of overhang from a little extra room that Mom added on, and Paul Kennerly turned it into a vocal booth for Emmylou.
There's an energy on this property. When the first time we came to look at it, I mean, there's so many stories you don't know, I'm sure, about us and your mom. Because I loved y'all's mom. Like, she was just, I saw something where you described her. I don't know if it was her obituary or what it was, but you said she was an artist in every sense of the word. Yeah. And I never forgot that because it was such a great way to describe her.
So I want to thank you for keeping some of the murals that
we tried to keep as much as we could.
I thought I was going to cry when we were doing the podcast, but I got my tears out as Chris walked us.
I knew it. I knew that was going to happen.
To the house, but at the same time, it's really yours, and we really appreciate what you've done to it.
Just pass it down, like you just pass it down. When we came to look at this house, it's so crazy because I don't think I've ever told you this. We came over here. We were in the middle of renovating a different house. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, it's tore to pieces, that other house.
Right.
And we were still living in it, but we were renovating. And for something in the ad said something about a kitchen. So we were trying to get ideas for our kitchen, and we came over here.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And then the funny thing is we came in, it was like an open house.
Yeah.
And we came in, and Chris was like, I don't know what's going on in there. Pam Tillis is crying in the kitchen. And I was just like, what? And so then we went in there, and then I gradually realized this is where she lived. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is very special to her.
What I heard was that you walked into the living room and looked around and started crying.
Well, that happened too.
Yeah.
Like when I walked through that house or this house, like I got down on my knees in the back. I'll get emotional. But got down on my knees and said a prayer that we could live here, that we could buy this house.
Yeah.
And like it just, you could feel a special energy here.
Yeah.
There's something special here.
There really is.
And your mom told me, like, Chris was like, she's just trying to sell the house before he knew her. Like, but she told me this house is on a vortex.
That's Mom.
Yeah.
Mom was woo-woo before
I think
anybody
she
knew
was
what
right.
woo-woo was.
I swear I think she was right. She told me, she said things grow here that don't grow anywhere in Middle Tennessee.
Aimee, at one point, Mom had 50 flower beds. I counted them one day. There were flower beds everywhere. And it was lush. I mean, she just grew.
It still is in the spring.
She grew everything. And
I always think about her because her daffodils come up every spring.
Yeah.
And like I've tried to keep planting daffodils
that.
like all around the mailbox.
yeah, they were naturalized down in that. As you go down the hill, it was all down the hill.
And you can find the kind that spread.
Yeah.
So I tried to keep up with that. Like her
Yeah.
purple iris still bloom every spring.
Wow.
I mean, but
she
was right.
I need to get because they multiply. Can I come get a?
Oh,
can I get a bulb?
100%.
Street has a vibe. The whole street's
has
got a vibe.
such a vibe. Our daughter, like, when we first came down this street, we weren't planning on buying a house. I mean, because we were going to look at a kitchen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I mean, we're in the middle. I'm sure we lost a bunch of money on that other house because we were in the middle.
Sometimes it doesn't matter.
Like
You just
it
had to
really
be here.
didn't. And like when we were coming, the overhang of the trees, the way
Yeah.
our daughter, when she was about 5, she said it looks like the trees are holding hands.
Oh, love
How
that.
they hang
I love
over
that.
like
Yeah.
on the street. And then so when we came here, I just felt like we were supposed to live here.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, I know I'm going to be just like your mom. We've been here 25 years. I know I'm going to be just like your mom
Yeah.
about, like, the realtor told us, I don't know if she's going to sell this house, like, because she
Right.
loved this house like I love this house.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could let this house go if it was some pharmaceutical freak. You know what I mean? I don't think I could do it. I just
Yeah,
don't. I think we
yeah.
would rent it before I could do it,
Yeah.
even if they offered a bunch of money. I feel like we owe it to the house, kind of. I want the right energy here.
I can't imagine that won't happen. I just
I
can't
feel like the right
imagine
person will
we'll be
come
drawn here.
Well, what's crazy is I had this realtor call. Well, my friend Laura, Dennis Quaid's wife Laura, she's one of my best friends. She said, my friend that's a realtor she's looking for a house for somebody who's super famous, but she can't say who.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And we were kind of guessing, is it Justin Bieber and Celine? Like, we're going back and forth.
Right.
So she's like, can I give that realtor your number? And I said, yeah, you can give them the number. We're not ready to sell, but give her the number. So, because they wanted a studio separate from the house. And so when she called, she was like, yeah, I can't, I signed an NDA. I can't tell you who it is.
They can't.
And I said, well, there's only one person we would sell this house to right now, and that's Post Malone. Like, because I'd had a dream he got this house.
Oh, wow.
And so I could tell by the surprise and the way she responded, it was Post Malone looking. I could feel it. You know what I mean? And then when she said that, I was like, okay, well, I just feel like, I don't know, I felt like he was supposed to live here, first of all, because I got lotus, painted everywhere. There's a lotus in outer space on my studio. Like, I think he would dig it instead of being like, freaked out
It's
by
not
it.
stuffy.
'Cause,
It's not
like, I think
stuffy. It's an artist house. Yeah.
100% it's
Yeah,
an artist.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
best way to put it.
Right.
And like, I think he would love it here. He was supposed to come look at it, and then he got
Right.
flooded in Miami.
Right.
But he loves the history. He loves like that you lived here, your dad. He loves the
wow,
whole
wow.
thing.
I like him.
It is an artist house.
Yeah.
That's a good way to say that
Yeah.
because we want an artist to live here. We love it here. Chris was like, we owe it to the house to
Right.
leave it in good hands.
You feel like stewards or custodians of a house,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel like unless you stay there, till they take you out, you feel like you do want to hand it off to somebody. We had that, we own an old house now, my husband and I, and it's funny, the people that owned it, they had a daughter who had been a vet tech assistant or whatever you call them, and she had fallen in love with a particular breed of dog. And when she found out that we had that kind of dog, she told her mom and dad, they're the people. Sell to them. And we're like, we got in because of our dog.
I believe that.
Yeah, so little things like that do sway. I get where you're coming from.
Well, I just feel like I just want it to stay music. You know what I mean? I want people to be making music here.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Like, I just want it to stay creative.
Right.
And most people, one thing we learned quick is most people aren't looking for a house with like a separate building that's
There's a lot
studio.
of buildings
this
here.
is kind of just a compound. There's buildings everywhere.
It was 11 acres. And let me tell you something about my mother. She had very little help. She was getting up on the roof.
Oh, I do that too. I do crazy shit like that. I'll be hanging Christmas lights.
Oh my
Christmas,
gosh!
like, you have to get down now. Like, but it's the only thing that makes me feel better. It gets dark so early. Like, you know what I mean? I just love like it feeling a little bit like Christmas.
Yeah,
and and it's so expensive to get the lights. I mean, if I could, I'd spend $20,000, and like leave them up year round. I love lights. But I was wondering what you guys were going to feel like when you pulled in the drive. I just went through this at my grandmother's house that was my childhood home. And it was so different.
You understand.
When I walked through it, I was just looking for anything that was similar to when I grew up.
I'll tell you something, and I hope it doesn't unnerve you. I know Connie's come by here. So the little side driveway, I didn't know she'd done this till today, but
It's okay. It's okay to feel what you feel. I feel it too. I'm telling you right now.
I've driven by here. I just wanted to feel connected to a time.
Yes.
That was so special. And the other day, I just kind of, and I know she's not here.
But her spirit a little bit is
there's
here,
something
I feel
of her here. And the other day, I'm not stalking you guys, but I did pull into that little side driveway.
Yeah.
Outside the fence. And I just sat there and I had to have a little talk with her.
Yes.
And my sister told me she'd done the same thing. And I said, you're kidding me. So, it's funny to the scale. You remember the scale of the property looks different to you when you're younger.
When you went through there, when you went through the house, like were you looking for anything that was the same?
You know what? You know when I was looking out the window and imagining what I saw when I was little.
Yeah.
Because the interior's changed so much.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm trying to get my bearings.
But there's a lot of, I did the same thing at my grandmother's because I didn't really get to say goodbye to her house. Like my aunt was kind of traumatized. She died, quick. And so my aunt sold the house. Yeah. And I never got to walk through it one last time. And it was my grandmother's house, but it was where I grew up. It was the closest thing I have to a childhood home.
Okay, you understand that,
And this just happened a few months ago.
No, and Mom moved after my career had taken off, and it was especially that first year where I was just gone. So in a lot of ways, I didn't really get to say goodbye.
Yeah. It's weird you need to say goodbye to a place. You know what I mean? That song by Miranda Lambert.
Oh, the house that built me.
That's one of the best songs I've ever heard.
It really is. And I was thinking about that song when we agreed to do this. I just like that song immediately came to my mind, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Because y'all have a whole life here we didn't have here. I mean, like.
Well, let me tell you.
I'll just start crying all over again.
There were some epic parties. We had great parties because, all the kids had school friends and that big pool. That's not a hard draw.
Yeah, I mean, we're still doing that with our kids. They have parties.
Yeah.
Just the other day, I came out here and there were like 20 kids in here, playing music. And I love that. I love that too.
That.
But like our son, he thinks he owns this studio. Like he didn't want us doing anything.
That's funny.
He said, because I was telling him they had to move the drum set and they had to move equipment. And he's like, we're going to do a podcast in your bedroom. You got to move the bed.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he's
territorial.
He's a mess. And but they all love it. There's so many memories here. Like, I love a story. You never know what stories are true, but I heard a story, and I think your mom may have told us this story, that she knocked Chris Christopherson out with a frying pan in the kitchen.
Oh. Speaking of Chris Christopherson, I wanted to pull a Chris Christopherson in here. And so I was doing a Christmas show. I had a 3-year contract with Opryland to do a Christmas show. And this was 2008. There was a big field out that way, and there was a helicopter. They were offering helicopter rides over Nashville. There's no fields left. It's all been developed.
Oh,
but
yeah.
At that time, there was a field. I guess I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. But anyway, one day I said, hey, if I had some place nearby that I wanted to land, could you do it if I picked a place? I can't believe this guy humored me. He goes, yeah, I can do that if there's enough room to land. I landed in the backyard.
Oh, my gosh.
And it reminds me of when Chris Christopherson wanted to pitch this certain song to Johnny Cash, and he wanted to make a big splash.
I love that story.
Remember that story?
Yes.
And so Mom was in the backyard like she often was, and all of a sudden she hears these, helicopter blades, and she's going, what the heck? And she's looking up, and then all of a sudden here comes this helicopter landing, and she goes, you sure know how to make an entrance. I mean, that was just, I loved making her laugh. I love that. And then there was another time, this is coming, and the Tillis is coming and going in very unusual ways here. We had the side yard. What's over there now,
it's
guys?
a courtyard.
Yeah, okay, the courtyard. And, well, next to the courtyard, did you know it was a soft tennis court?
Okay, in a second, I got to tell you something crazy about that. But I did learn that later after we'd been here.
My brother Sonny got married. We had a big tent, and he got married at the on the soft tennis court. And I don't know who arranged it, but we set it up to have a hot air balloon on ready to go, and they were going to whisk the bride and groom off, my brother Sonny and his beautiful bride. And then they invited, Sonny's a real mama's boy, and he's like, Mama, you want to go with us? And she said, and Daddy, I don't know. She was mad at Daddy she was always mad at him, but she's like, you can't bother me now, Melvin.
Oh,
or something. What was she saying?
He just said he ran up. They brought 2 hot air balloons because it was.
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Dad all of a sudden saw Mom jumping in the hot air balloon, which was really freaky.
Oh, she was saying, you can't stop me.
He said, Doris, get out of there. You can't stop me.
You can't stop me, Melvin.
I love how she called him Melvin.
Yeah,
She was calling him Melvin when we were out here.
So that was a funny moment.
Wait, when you said that about the tennis court, okay, starting in like the 6th grade, I started drawing my dream house. And I'm going to get emotional again, but I drew my dream house like growing up forever. And on my dream house, I drew like a red ruffled roof, but I didn't know what that was called. And there was one house in our town, Gadsden, Alabama.
That's crazy, and I believe in stuff like that.
I do too.
Wow.
I do too. I dreamed this house.
When she says red ruffled roof, it's a tile. It's a Spanish tile.
But I didn't.
Roof.
Yeah,
right. You didn't know
being
what
in
that was.
Alabama,
Right.
I had no clue.
Right.
And there was one house in our town that had a turret, and I didn't know the name of a turret, but I knew it's like a little castle had those things. And every time I passed that house, I was thinking, I want a house with one of those.
I really need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Gotta have a
this
turret.
house had a turret. It had the roof, and the house I always drew had a stream along the right side of it.
Okay, that's
Every
crazy. Right.
second of this
Wow.
house, every
Unbelievable.
detail of this house,
Wow.
except for one,
Yeah.
I wanted a sunken-in living room.
Oh, okay.
Aside from
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and I always drew a tennis court, and it was right where it's at.
Right.
And the crazy thing, I didn't know when we moved in, it was a courtyard. I didn't know it was ever a tennis court.
Yeah, well, the tennis court was outside on the other side of the courtyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I
Yeah.
never knew it had
right.
one. And then I
Yeah.
can't remember who told me that it was but I drew this house. I drew this
Wow,
house
wow.
for years and years
I
and
believe
years.
in that.
I still have pictures from
Yeah,
that I drew.
I believe I
like
love
in my
that.
diaries and
Wow,
stuff.
I love that.
And so that's why when we came here, I just got on my knees and said a prayer.
This is it.
Please let us
You
live
knew.
here.
Yeah.
And we brought our friends Marv Green and Tasha through here. That he's a songwriter. We've written
I
a
know
bunch of
Marv,
songs.
yeah.
And he said that night he had dreams of just shooting colors in his dreams, and he
my
dreamed about
gosh.
the house.
Wow.
And when he told us that, we already felt like we were supposed to live here. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you have those feelings, even if you have no clue how you're going to make it happen, because I don't think we actually had the money to buy this place when we bought it. But it all worked out. We figured, your mom, when we were walking through here, your mom is like, this house is on a vortex and you're going to write so many hits on this property. I'm telling you, I'm promising
Yeah.
you are going to write hits on this property.
Yeah.
And she was right. One of the
Yeah.
first songs we wrote was this song, This One's for the Girls by Martina.
Oh,
That was a
wow.
big pop hit, country hit.
And there were a lot of songs written here before you got here.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote a lot of songs here.
And remember those little
Yeah.
tiles? Those little tiles in the kitchen,
Yes,
let that pony run.
yes.
Did your mom make those tiles?
She did make those.
And we gave them to you. I
They
think
were in the
we
laundry
saved
room,
them.
weren't they? Where were
No,
they?
they were in the kitchen. They were on the
She put
sliding
them in the
glass
laundry
door.
room at her next house. She took them with her. Right.
Oh, she did. Yeah, we
Yeah.
gave them to her.
Yeah.
Because they were special and we knew it. We
Yeah,
were
she
like,
had
do not break these when you
She
move
had
them.
a lot of my song titles.
Yeah.
But there was a lady, another songwriter that was a special character here. It was a lady by the name of, did you know Pat Bunch?
No, but I've heard of Pat.
Pat was and she was a mentor to me as well as a songwriter. She really encouraged me. And so-
Everybody needs a mentor.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody
Yeah.
to believe in you.
I know, and it was somebody other than Dad. You looked up to older people that were really doing it, but somebody other than a parent
You're not
saying,
going to listen to your parent
Right.
like you are somebody else.
But she was very encouraging. She said, "Oh, you could sing the phone book and it sound good, and you're a good writer. You really need to do this." And so, I'm glad I got to mention Pat Bunch in the
Yeah.
conversation about this house because she was important to us.
Well, and she helped take care of it.
Yeah, she
mean,
did.
that's
She helped
so
take care of us.
special.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious, what's one of your favorite memories at this house?
Oh, wow. There's just too many. Mom was such a great cook. Oh, my God, the food that came out of the kitchen. You just can't. And I named my company. One day she was working on these biscuits, and Mom was like, when they say like Nouvelle Cuisine, which is it's a new modern. And before Sean Brock was doing Husk and elevating Southern cuisine, Mom was so creative in the kitchen that her roots were Southern cooking. But then she was so creative, and she was watching some of the cooking shows that were coming out at the time, and like the Galloping Gourmet, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And she started pushing the envelope in very interesting ways. And she started incorporating fresh herbs out of the garden. She'd make these beautiful biscuits, and she'd either put curry, she'd experiment with all the spices, and just had a knack for
She was ahead of her time.
She was so
too.
ahead of her time, but I will say our meals were beautiful. I just remember playing in the creek was really special. Dick Frank had a cabin next door. He's the person that really brought Shania Twain to Nashville.
Oh,
but they were
really?
wonderful people. But we used to play in this creek, and there were fish that big, if you can imagine. There's a very important thing that happened in the back field. You mentioned the vortex. Well, there was a tribe of about, I want to say 25, 30,000. There was a huge Indian encampment.
That's what I've always
Here,
heard.
they were the Stonebox Indians. So that was kind of magic, and it was a favorite moment. Mom was a member of a group called Moon Circle, and it was all these ladies, and they were spearheaded by Manisa Halsey. Manisa was full-blooded Choctaw, I think, and Mom was woo-woo, like I said, before anybody was woo-woo. And so they were very interested in, Manisa wanted to share her Native American traditions and women's ways, women's medicine, in an artistic kind of way. Manisa's father was an artist, so she related to Mama on that level. And they had this moon circle, so they'd get out in the back field, and they had Indian, they would call this cultural appropriation now, but they were celebrating Manisa's culture. And Mom grew organic tobacco back there. They had ceremonies, camping out back there, pool parties. We had a tree house. God, just so many memories and friends and sleepovers, and we got in trouble too. We got in trouble. The front of the house, the upstairs window on the front of the house, there was a little balcony out
I
there.
remember.
That was far enough away from Mom and Dad's bedroom that you could sneak out at night.
Yeah.
So we actually tied bed sheets together.
We may have told your daughter how to do that.
Well, our kids already did it, like
Figured
our
it out.
boys. They used to sneak out of
Yeah,
here.
they figured it out. That was the escape hatch right there. That's where you-
100% they have snuck out that window.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing, kids always figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that about the stream, we've had two different things happen. We had a lady show up here one day and tell us she was born in one of the rooms.
Oh, wow. Well, that would have been one of the Hoptons.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, one of the
She
Hopkins
just
daughters.
wanted to come through there, and then we had another lady show up another time, and she said she just wanted to wade in the creek one more time, and that
love
just really got me. Like,
know.
but one of the
I want to do that. Can I come?
yes, I'll do it with you. We'll do it
They all wanna-
together.
My sisters are here, by the way.
Yeah, we'll all
Yeah.
go in that creek.
I had to bring them.
There's so many memories. I just feel like energy stays in a place, just like the daffodils,
I
because
love
they
that.
come back every
Wow.
year,
Yeah.
and it's like somebody staying and their energy staying. But there's one thing that Chris and me talk about all the time that makes me think about you guys when you were moving out, when your mom was moving out, but kind of everybody was moving out, it felt like. When we came to move in, we had our big rental from budget, and we came to move in the house, and we came over around noon, and all of y'all were in the front yard crying. So we left because we didn't really know what to do.
Oh, Lord.
Well, then we came back again around 2:30. Y'all were still here crying. And then we came back one last time, and y'all were just then pulling out.
No.
And I know we'll be the same exact way. I know we'll be the same way because I just feel like it's just a super special place.
Yeah.
And there's not that many. That's why I just really want somebody. I don't know. I feel like what you said, that the right person will show up. But the realtor, when we were looking, they were saying, I don't even know if she's going to sell. I don't know if she's going to sell this place. And my daughter's the same. She's like, I'll believe it when I see it, because I told her this may be our last Thanksgiving in this house. I'll believe it when I see it. That's what she said.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it was the right thing for her. I'm sure people listening are thinking, well, why did you sell then? It was too much for her.
Well, yeah.
And Daddy had, they had split, and it was just too much for her. And then I was gone, and everybody had kind of flown the nest. And so she was by herself, and it was just, it's just not, it's a family house.
It's too much for us.
Right.
I mean, it's gotten to where it's too much for us now that the kids are, older. Lola graduates this year, and it's just a lot, I want a new family to live here and raise their kids here. I just love when our kids were little, like Oscar, our middle son, he'd be out in his underwear on his scooter, with a pacifier in his mouth, and he's little and riding around, and you can do that out here, and there's not many places like this still have land.
Yeah.
And especially close to town.
No, it's a rare situation. It really is.
It's really special. And I just was wondering what were some of your best memories and her cooking. Chris is a great cook. And he talks about how it's going to be nuts the last time we walked through the house. And just people live here a long time when they come here. They stay and they make all these memories. I remember when we first moved in, there was something in one of the cupboards. I opened it, and it said, "This is where Mama hides the Christmas presents."
Oh, I love that. Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah.
Carrie was a little. How old were you? 4, and Sonny put her up to it. He said, Carrie streaked through the living room at 4. My brother put her up to it, and the preacher had come over to visit, and he said, "This will be funny if you'll run through the through the living room naked."
And it was the preacher.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Oh my gosh!
Is he your older brother?
No. Her older brother. I'm the oldest. But,
I forgot.
But like I said too, just looking back on it now, just being young together, being in.
It's a weird feeling when you walk through a place where, I knew when I was talking to y'all, you said your sisters wanted to walk through too. I knew just because I just did this. You know what I mean? I just did this at my pretty much I'd call my childhood home. And, all I could do was look for things that stayed the same. That. I just, because this guy had completely renovated this house. There were only a few things that were the same, but you have all these memories there and this energy there. I feel like that energy stays. It doesn't, I don't know. And there's been such good energy here.
And speaking of energy, Mom was real tuned into, she was a very curious person, and she liked to, both Mom and Dad came from very modest, not much money. Daddy left school early. He didn't finish school. He went on a football scholarship, but he wanted to get right into the music business, really. He didn't stay long with the football scholarship. I think maybe, I don't know, half a year or something, not much, a year. But they continued to learn, and Mom always had a stack of books on her bedside table, and she studied. She was real into the underwater tables. She would study all that, the energy that came from water flowing underground, and she was hugely into feng shui. It had brown tile on the floor, and it had a brown toilet, And what?
Newspaper wallpaper.
Yeah, newspaper
now,
wallpaper.
I do remember that.
And there was a picture. This is terrible. Somewhere along the line, Daddy had gotten a picture. Johnny Cash was in there. I don't know if that was supposed to be an inside joke, because he loved Johnny Cash. He said he was the most charismatic person he ever met in the music business. But there was a poster of Johnny Cash in there. But when Mom learned feng shui, she was terribly concerned. She says, "Well, I hope they're going to have to do something about that toilet in the love sector, or it's gonna, or they just won't last. She said, and also they're gonna have to do something about the sliding glass doors in the bedroom because Chris can't sleep with his feet pointed toward the door or he'll be out of there.
She told me this
She was
stuff.
really concerned for you about the toilet in the love sector.
Yeah, I remember because I'd never really heard about feng shui before your mom.
Well, and she, I mean, I think there are some truths to feng shui.
I do too.
But I think there's a lot of interpretations of it, and she carried it to a great extreme.
If they're in a weird,
there's a flow of energy.
It doesn't feel right. Like if you ever go in a room and like they got the bed in a weird place.
Right. Oh, you know it, and that's an intuitive thing. And so I was with her. I was willing to go there, but then she'd go. She got weird. She wouldn't, when we were looking for houses, she's like, I can't have any house with 5 in the address. It's like, Mom.
Oh my gosh,
she says,
I didn't
5's
know
a bad
that.
number. And I go, no, Mom, without 5, there can be no 6.
I'm the same way with numbers. I got major issues. Chris is like, if these people, we were talking about signing a deal and selling my catalog, and he was like, if they know this, you're going to be in trouble. Like about if it's, I like 1s, I like 11s, like and I'm going to feel like something's meant to be. And if they know that, you know what I mean? Like, so I get the thing with the numbers. Okay. Yeah, I just loved your mom. I really did. I felt like a kindred spirit with your mom.
And she saw that.
Yeah, I think I could tell she saw it.
Yeah,
I could totally tell she saw it.
I'll tell you another neat thing that she did here that I loved. As I said, they came from really humble background and didn't have anything. And Daddy started to make a little bit of money here while we were here. And so, but still, she wasn't used to having, it was funny because part of her, she got an interior decorator for a short time and she bought some really nice pieces. But after that, she kind of went boho. She was boho before any of that was, and she was into upcycling before anybody did that. She'd find an old organ and bring it in here and paint it and turn it into a planter. She was into repurposing and upcycling before anybody did it. So the house was a curious mix of really nice furniture that came out of a really upscale store, and then all these handmade DIY kind of craft things. And so it was an interesting mix. You saw it.
I'm exactly the same.
It was an interesting mix.
Well, I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like...
It was soulful.
If
it wasn't
you go in a house and it's all like...
too put together.
I don't
That's
like
right.
that. And then if it's all too quirky, it's like a great mix.
And I will say that, and I think all my sisters and... because I've been into decorating, because she had a passion for making things look pretty. She loved decorating. She loved it. And that really made an impression on me. So consequently, I've had that sickness. I've had that disease.
Too.
And being a collector and loving thrifting and antiquing and junking and all that stuff. But and I have moved a lot, probably more than your average person. And I realized, though, after a while that every house I've ever been in, the only thing I was really doing was trying to make it feel like Mama's.
Yeah. Yeah, that I see that. Like, and I know, like, I don't even understand what we're going to do when we move. You know what I mean? Like, and... but we're almost there. It's almost time, and I feel that.
Wow.
Like,
maybe we were supposed to have this conversation too to help you
kind of close the chapter. I remember, like, when Taylor Swift, like, the first time she came over here, I kind of mentored her a little bit for a few years, and she just loved this studio. She loved this house. Wow. I had a flower wall. This was a long time ago before you ever saw that stuff. And she, like, got the same guy to do her renovations that did ours. Wow. The same guy that painted the Lotus and everything.
Amazing.
Painted her place.
Amazing.
Like, and she just loved it here. I saw
who did the Lotus?
It was a guy from New Orleans that moved during the flood. Oh. And then Mike Cronin built this studio. He built Blackbird.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah, he's like the best studio builder in the
amazing.
world. But she just loved it here, and she loved the energy, and she loved the things like in there. It's like it says breathe, believe, receive up there. And I don't know, we connected on decorating because I love decorating too. And she was like, this is my favorite house I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Now, this was a long time ago. She's been all over the world now. I remember when she first got her first place, and it's like, it's nuts. Like when somebody's got an unlimited budget, they're 21.
Oh, yeah, that's dangerous.
And like they can do anything. And I was like, maybe you should put a koi pond right in the middle of the room. You know, like I had all these ideas, but she could afford to do all those ideas. And she did this killer, like, place a little nook to read in a bird cage. It was so awesome. That was her idea that I loved. And then everything was colorful and so cool, and all the knobs in the kitchen were different, but then upstairs it was all white. It's like you went up there, and it was like a whole different ethereal place. She was always so creative. I think we never wrote like a hit together, but we connected on just the artistic level.
I love that.
Yeah, because like I love, like you're saying, I've got probably 80,000 pins. My daughter was laughing on Pinterest, and it's all furniture and decorating because I just
80,000.
I just freaking love
process.
it. And it's an OCD.
I relate.
I don't know. I felt like it's a weird thing. Like I know it came out of nowhere when I asked you about like,
but it was
talked.
right. It was right after I had called you because I did. Yeah. After I sat in the driveway and cried, I'm like, I really need to go back and see the house again.
That happened right before.
Yes.
Oh, I did.
Yes, and it was like 2 weeks later. You're calling me, and I'm like, there it is.
Yeah, it's like. I don't know. I felt like I needed to talk to you before we said goodbye to the house.
No, I believe. I mean, we were, and we can talk some more. Yeah.
We brought you a walking stick.
Yeah. Can we show Aimee? Does Chris have it?
He showed me. He showed me. That was your mom's stick.
She whittled it, and she made a lot of those.
She made a lot of stuff.
She made a lot of everything. Oh, one time, pottery. One time, a friend I had done a Kathy Lee Gifford Christmas special, and I made friends with Lance Bass, and he came here. Whoever came here would always go off with a piece of Mama's pottery.
Oh, I love this. That is so sweet of you guys.
In the cool of the evening, she liked to sit outside on the porch and whittle. It sounds really hillbilly, but she found it really relaxing.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
And then she paid them, and there's no two alike. So that's
I love that. I'm so happy you gave me that.
We wanted some Mom to come back here.
Well, I loved your mom. I didn't even know her that long, but I just felt like a kindred spirit with her, like just how, because I know, like I could tell the realtor thought your mom was a little crazy. I'm a little crazy. So I know the realtor,
some of the best people
realtors that came out here thought I'm a little crazy. And I was thinking, no, I'm just passionate about this place. I want the right people to come here next. Yeah. It's not crazy. I keep saying
spiritual.
The word special.
Yeah.
It's spiritual. It's magical.
Right.
And like that's why I feel like it matters who comes here. You know, and that's why I really want somebody that does music.
She made a lot of art here.
Oh yeah,
a lot of art.
Chris was like, you should have never done something with that. Is it called a kiln?
Oh, yeah, the kiln.
Yeah.
She did a lot of pottery.
Because I really wanted to do pottery. I went through a phase.
Yeah. One thing that she did was and I could just go on, and the longer I sit here, the more I remember. When she passed away, the entire bottom floor, the entire mezzanine was all Mom's art. It was just so plentiful that we filled it up for her memorial, and it was pretty stunning.
Yeah.
And, Daddy had his fans and his... I say groupies. I don't mean it like that, but ardent admirers.
Everybody knew him,
But Mom had her admirers too, so we were real proud that there was let me go woo-woo too. There was a real balance of important male energy here, but really powerful female energy. A lot. So
I feel like
it's a very fertile place.
It'll stay. Y'all's energy will stay. Our energy will stay.
Yeah.
I just feel like it'll all be here. And then I feel like other people are supposed to raise their kids here, and then come in and fix it up like we did, like y'all did. Each generation or each family, because people stay here. Yeah. When they come here, they stay. And that's what I'm hoping is the next
Well,
family
right.
raises their kids and they stay here and they love it like we have.
Well, I want to say this about walking in, and I'm sure both of my sisters are sensitive. I'm sure they both have had this thought. But when I walked in and I've seen the house and I felt this house, you know, it was sad. There was some sadness here too, that Mom and Dad split. But this house expanded because you and Chris's relationship is so wonderful, and the love that you have, and love grew a lot. Love grew a lot here, and I could tell how it manifested. It multiplied here, and so good. I'm just proud for you. I'm happy for you, and it's very evident.
Well, I just feel grateful.
Yeah,
I just feel grateful that we got to spend so much of our life here.
Well, you've been, it looks like you've been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stewards of it.
And that's what we all hope is the next, know, people that come here are the same.
I hope they come and plant good things.
Me too.
And let love grow here.
Oh, I love that. That's a good ending.
Good.
Let love grow here. It's so true. I feel like it has grown here and there's more to come.
Yeah. From your lips to God's ears.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys rock. Thank you for watching.